Well, hi there once again. This is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World, here with my colleague Jimmie Tramel, also with the Tulsa World. We are the scene department, and we're here to give you an update on things to look forward to in the scene section of the Tulsa World, available at your favorite newsstands or online at tulsaworld.com. Jimmie, I understand you're feeling a little blue today.
Yeah, and that's a nice little segue, but I don't know. You thought you might have a Smurf in your house, and you went looking for it. So
I did.
I'm guessing there's a story behind you having a Smurf in the house.
It was something that my late wife purchased. It was the only one that she found that it was holding a feather and a piece of paper, and she said it was the only one that looked like a writer. So that's why she bought it. And I have no idea where it is right now, but it's probably here somewhere.
I believe there is a character named Editor Smurf. It's him. But it's a Smurfiversary soon, in that the Smurfs have been around since 1958 in Belgium, but they didn't get introduced to American television until Saturday morning cartoon in 1981 in September, where the fall season always launches in September. So 40-year anniversary of Smurfs coming up soon. And also on Nickelodeon Friday, a new Smurf series started. And I don't know that you or readers are all that interested in reading a history of the Smurfs, but we did find a local Smurf collector who we can localize that story and say, here's why I love the Smurfs. And the Smurf has actually helped this person throughout their life. So,
well, I know that there are people of all nationalities and all ages that are obsessed with all things Smurf. In fact, I think in 2008 there were two European towns. I don't remember offhand where they were, but they painted every building blue in honor of the Smurfs' anniversary. I guess their 50th anniversary. And one of the towns was so taken by that and so happy with the tourism that it drew that they kept it.
That's great.
So there is. I wish I could now remember where that was, but yeah, there is still somewhere a town. Everything is painted Smurf blue. So my only question is, all these blue people running around and there's only one woman.
Yeah, I know that was the case with the cartoon back in the day. I think they have expanded.
Okay.
I was reading the cast for the new Smurf cartoon, computer generated, because everything is nowadays.
Sure.
And it looks like there is another female character. And I'm up to my Smurfs enough to know if there may be 20 more. I don't know. But anyhow, it's a big week if you're feeling blue.
Okay. All right. Well, if you are feeling generous, the city of Coffeyville wants to hear from you. The Midland Theater, which is in downtown Coffeyville, dates back to 1928, but has been pretty much neglected for a good 20 or so years. But now there's a group that is working to revive it and restore it, called the Midland Theater Foundation Incorporated. And we've got a story about the theater, about the history of it. Apparently, it was founded by a man named John Tackett, who is credited as the person who photographed the Dalton gang after their Coffeyville raid ended in most of them being killed. So he's apparently the one who shot the famous photograph of them laying in front of some building that was that the Eagles replicated on their album Desperado. And we get into the history of that, and how a woman named Pearl Richardson took over as owner, and some of the stories around her, because she apparently was quite a character. But it's a $3 million campaign that they're beginning. They've got the first phase done, which is basically the exterior to keep the elements out of the theater. And they're going to begin construction on the second phase, which will renovate the lobby. So if you're looking, I know a lot of people in Tulsa are from Coffeyville or pass through there or have family, and if you want to, add a little something to what they're trying to accomplish, it's historicmidlandtheater.com, I believe, is where you can find more information. And we'll have all of that in the story that should have been this Sunday. Speaking of Sunday, what's on your docket?
Well, we talked a little before we went on air with this. I think you're a fan of this show. Am I right?
I am a big fan of that show.
Why do you like this show?
I like it because it is one of the rare, pardon me, examples of the inverted detective story on TV. Most detective shows, you have to figure out who done it. This one, you already know who done it, and it's how he's going to, if he's going to get caught, or she. And they were always very clever. And Columbo was Peter Falk nailed the character, or he didn't create the character, because a number of other people played him in other incarnations. But yeah, it was just a smart, intelligent, fun detective show.
Yeah, it's just so entertaining that he's going to find this one detail that the bad guy who thinks he's smarter than everybody else he's going to get him with the goods so much that the guy's just going to confess and give up. No, nobody needs to pull a gun on him. He just says, like, I surrender. You got me. End of episode. But the first episode of this series, there were some pilots before, but the first episode of the series aired in September of 1971. So Columbo, the series is 50, and we don't want to give away exactly what story we're writing for Sunday about Columbo, but it will have a local angle to it. And maybe this will be familiar to you if you drive around a certain area of town. But Tulsa does have a wooden connection to Columbo. I'll put it that way.
Well, and there was a theater group that operated for more than a decade around town called The Ultimate Murder Mystery. And one of the main characters that was one of the sort of the hosts of the evening, it was one of those murder mystery dinner theater type things, was a guy who played the character of Columbo to sort of guide people to find the clues. So that's, oh dear, when did that shut down? It's been a while since that they ceased that. So, but we're going to be going a little far afield for another Sunday story. This will be in the news section. The First Americans Museum in Oklahoma City is to open the weekend of September 18. This has been something that has been in the works for 30 years. There was to the point where most people thought it was never going to see the light of day. But about 7 or 8 years ago, they hired away from Gilcrease Museum in Tulsa, James Pepper Henry, to be the executive director. And he has been something of a lightning rod to get this thing open. And we're going to be doing a tour of that and have a story for that this Sunday in advance of the opening. So look for that. If you're into bread of any sort, you're probably into bagels. And the people of Andolini's Pizza have started up a new, what they call the Bagelarium. Right now, there are locations on Cherry Street. There's one in the Mother Road Market, and there's one that is just kind of started opening in Broken Arrow. These are old school, hand rolled, kettle boiled bagels that kind of are a mix between the real chewy New York style that a lot of people know and the airier, less chewy but still flavorful Montreal style of bagel. And we'll let you know what we think of those as time goes on. So I think that'll get us started for this weekend. Anything more you need to add, Jimmie?
No, I think we're good to go. I'm curious about those bagels, but I'll wait and read it like everybody else.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you order the lox and cream cheese sandwich, you know, prepare to get a lot of napkins. It's messy, but it's very good. All right. Well, we want to thank you all for watching. This is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World speaking on behalf of my friend Jimmie Tramel, and we will gladly see you later.
Behave.
For more information, you can visit tulsaworld.com.